Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore, I'm joined by Craig Barnes, and you join us for this afternoon's Emirates FA Cup tie between Leamington and Nuneaton Borough in the second qualifying round. If either of these teams are to make it to the first round proper on the 5th of November, then they will have to not only negotiate today's fixture, but also the third and fourth qualifying rounds that follow as teams right across the football pyramid do battle in this, the oldest cup competition in the world. Started in 1871, the Emirates FA Cup is still basking in the glory of its 150th anniversary last May, having started in the 1871-72 season. The Emirates FA Cup has not been kind to the brakes in recent seasons gone by. It was 2005 when Leamington last made it to the first round proper. As for today's opposition, well, they are no strangers to Holleran, Leamington, the Breaks fans and many of their players. Nuneaton find themselves atop the Southern Premier Division, having been relegated from the National League North a couple of seasons ago. Having lost their opening game of this season, they went on a winning streak of 5 games, only being stopped in a 0-0 draw last Monday against Stourbridge. Silence there, fantastically observed by both sets of supporters and all players. But now it'll be the football that will be doing the talking in this, the Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Joe Magunda, who sends a long ball forward, and that'll be straight onto the head of Simeon May. Nuneaton pick it up again on the edge of the Breaks box. It'll be Wait inside to the Leamington penalty area. Near post shot from Ryan Bestwick, but into the hands of Callum Hawkins. And it's headed forward only as far as Simeon May. Simeon May sees Meredith in space on the right-hand side. Meredith and May play a neat little exchange, and then May plays a lovely switch of play all the way out to Louis Hall on the far side. Hall comes forward now, about 10 yards outside the Nuneaton penalty area, throws a step over, gets to the byline, tries to get his cross in, blocked, back to Walker, in towards the penalty spot and headed away twice by Nuneaton, and they only get it as far away as Simeon May. May picks up and sees Meredith in space on this right-hand side. Meredith comes forward. Meredith has a shot from all of 30 yards. That's safely into the hands of Tony Breeden.
Yeah, great effort there. It just got over the ball nicely, kept it down, kept it on target, and Breeden was there with his first save of the game.
Long throw this afternoon by Ben Usher Shipway. He was brought into the break squad over the summer, hurled in towards the penalty spot. It misses everyone, and it's straight into the chest of Tony Breeden, who takes a quick flat kick, and then he's got that one all wrong. It's gone straight to Dan Meredith, who picks it up again on halfway. Meredith comes forward over on that left-hand side, uses Usher Shipway, back to Meredith, ball into towards the far post again, but that's all the way over. Tony Breeden watches it over his own crossbar and then offers a hand of apology, I think to Tyrrell Waite, who he tried to spring quickly, but he just got that low, flat delivery, that distribution a little bit wrong. Kelly Evans assesses his option, sends the ball in now towards the middle, where it's punched away by Tony Breeden towards Simeon May on the edge, and there was that position that Simeon May took up, but he was just put under pressure by Stenson and just skewed his shot a good 10 yards wide. And the referee's just come across just to have a little word with the argy-bargy that's going on in the edge of the 18-yard box, but he's happy. The Nuneaton players all trying to keep a high line, trying to keep Leamington players out of the penalty area. Sent in by Kelly Evans and towards the penalty spot. Theo Street wins the header, and a really good save low down by Tony Breeden. The offside flag has actually gone up. It wouldn't have counted anyway, but it was a really firm header by Theo Street, and Tony Breeden got down well, both hands low down, made the save, collected the ball. It'll be Devon Kelly Evans will take the in-swinger again, in towards the near post again, headed on off the bar. Second attempt for Usher Shipway, heads it back in towards the penalty area, headed away by a Nuneaton head and then skewed high into the air. I didn't see who the header off the crossbar came off of a Breaks head at the near post, really vicious delivery, but Nuneaton clear their lines and they try and find Waite inside the Leamington half, and then it's had to be skewed out of play by Louis Hall on that far side.
I think it was Jack Lane. Just came across so quickly, but it was at Leamington near post. The ball was on the money for the first time, really, from a Leamington point of view, and I think it was Jack Lane, commanding header, unfortunately for Leamington, just off the crossbar.
Yeah, whipped him with real pace from Kelly Evans, and then the near post header just cannoned off the crossbar, and Leamington couldn't make anything of the rebound. Quick throw in onto the head of Edwards. Edwards to Turner on the edge of the 18-yard box. Turner can't turn, but he can use Kelly Evans on that far side. Kelly Evans, first time cross in towards the penalty area, bounces around the bodies, cleared away by Nuneaton at the second attempt, picked up by McManus. He sends a long ball forward over the top of Theo Street. Stenson is in here. Theo Street does really well to get back goal side of him and then clear it at the second attempt. Great defending by Theo Street, because it looked for all the money that Stenson was going to be in and the danger was going to be on, but Leamington managed to clear their lines with Theo Street really well, and now they play a dangerous ball over the top for Turner. Turner on the edge of the 18-yard box on the right side, sends one in towards the penalty area, cleared away by Nuneaton, and the game's just opening up now because he picks it up in the middle of the park, and Osborne just gambles, sends the ball down the right-hand side for Richards to give chase. Richards one-on-one with Louis Hall. Richards comes inside the penalty area, left-footed drive in towards the gloves of Callum Hawkins, and it's an easy save for the Leamington goalkeeper. The referee just wants Dan Meredith just to take a couple of steps back, level with the Nuneaton dugout on that far side to take this throw. So Meredith retreats right in front of Nuneaton manager and owner Jimmy Gianelli. Meredith down the line to Edwards. Edwards tries to send one further on towards Turner, but can't do so, and it comes towards midfield where Walker picks it up. Walker to Hall. Hall sees Turner in space now on this left-hand side. Turner takes on Meredith onto his left foot. Turner inside the penalty area. Left-footed drive over the bar. Tony Breeden seemed to just wave it over the bar, confident enough that it wasn't going to be on target, but better play from Dan Turner. Just stood up Joe Magunda, played it onto his left foot, and then drilled one high over the Nuneaton crossbar.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first time I think I can see, or remember even, that Dan Turner having the ball, running at defenders, committing them, and unfortunately just couldn't quite get his shot on target.
Adam Walker picks up the ball on halfway and comes over, gives it to Dan Turner. Dan Turner gets a little shove in the back. Paul Holloran's asking for a free kick, but nothing's doing, and Charles has it on the left-hand side of the Borough. Over the top for Stenson. Stenson in towards the penalty area, heads it down. Can he get a touch in? Yes, he can, but it's collected by Callum Hawkins, right at the feet of Stenson, and that was a good opportunity for the Borough. So Joe Magunda gets a round of applause from both Breaks and Nuneaton fans as he makes his way all the way around the pitch, and his afternoon is done. So the ball is played across to that far side towards Charles. Charles falls over his own feet, and it's out of play for Dan Meredith to take a throw in towards Edwards. Edwards chests it down to Usher Shipway, and Usher Shipway just loses the ball as he tries to maintain possession, and Nuneaton play neat bit of football inside their own half. Then they send it forward towards the on-rushing Richards. Richards buries it. It's a fantastic goal by Nuneaton. Really smart bit of play. Dribbled inside the Leamington penalty area, took 1-2 touch, and then fired it past the dive of Callum Hawkins. And Nuneaton take the lead here in the FA Cup, and it's 1-0 to the Borough.
He strode forward with real purpose, didn't he, Shaun? And you could just see he was going to get a shot away. It's just whether Leamington players could come back, get any cover in. They couldn't. Confidently dispatched it past Callum Hawkins.
And the Borough take the lead here, and the Breaks have their work cut out once again to stay in the FA Cup. And that's the first goal Leamington have conceded in their last 4 games, and they won't be happy with just how easy it appeared to be. Ball forward over the head of Edwards in towards Stenson now. Stenson inside the penalty area. Can he bring it down? No, he can't. And Meredith does battle over on that far side with the number 10 of Waite. Waite's brought down, and it's a penalty. Well, the referee took his time, Will Davis, and as Meredith and May seem to battle with Waite, he was brought down, and Nuneaton, as quickly as they've gone ahead, will have a chance to double their lead. The Leamington players are in dispute with referee Will Davis, but as the player went down, all the Nuneaton fans behind the goal appealed for a penalty. The referee gave himself a bit of time and then pointed straight to the spot. Well, Callum Hawkins with 1 penalty save to his name already this season. That was against Ashley Hemmings away at Kidderminster. This one will be against former Breaks player Matt Stenson, who scored 8 goals himself for the Breaks in 14 games. The referee is just asking all players to stay outside the penalty area. It will be Stenson, right-footed, against the dancing on his line, Callum Hawkins. Stenson steps up, right-footed, saved by Hawkins. Stenson can't get the rebound. It's bouncing around the penalty area. Stenson again, and it's cleared away by Devon Kelly-Evans. Fantastic save from Callum Hawkins, low down to his right-hand side. Got a firm right hand on it, and Stenson fails from the penalty spot, and it remains Leamington 0, Nuneaton Borough 1.
What a superb save there from Callum Hawkins. Kept us in the cup, arguably, and we're very lucky to have him.
Fantastic save by Callum Hawkins, the second penalty save he's made this season, and the man on loan from Burton Albion, as you say, Craig, has potentially kept Leamington in the Emirates FA Cup. What a save. Not long left here at your Community Stadium. Sent forward by Hawkins towards the edge of the box. Tried to win the flick on, did Jack Edwards, but he didn't manage to, and it comes as far as Meredith on the right-hand side. Meredith, can he get a first-time crossing? No, he can't, because he sells a dummy and then gets in at the second attempt. In towards the far post, headed away by Nuneaton. Only as far as Jack Lane, who's in there as well. He sends it back towards May on the edge. May out towards Meredith again. Meredith, left-footed cross this time. Way too much on that. Straight into the gloves of Tony Breedon, who catches it high and then drops onto his chest on top of the ball and makes sure that the ball is safely in the clutches of the Nuneaton Borough goalkeeper. Leamington will have to try and work the ball up the pitch from deep inside their own half. It's flicked infield towards Prosser. Prosser can't win it. May does, however, and heads it forward towards Edwards. Edwards tries to send it out to the right-hand side, but again, an Nuneaton body is there to collect it. They try and send it down the right-hand side, only as far as Meredith. Meredith lets the ball bounce out of play, but that is the end of the game. Nuneaton Borough have done a job here this afternoon on Leamington in the FA Cup. They have dumped Leamington out of the Emirates FA Cup in the second qualifying round. The goal coming in the second half, and truth be told, Leamington did not have many opportunities this afternoon to get themselves on the score sheet. Nuneaton had that one opportunity that they made the most of. Another opportunity followed with a penalty that was given, and Matt Stenson, as he sent one low and hard down towards the corner, was met with a fine save by Callum Hawkins to keep the Brakes in it at that stage, but it wasn't to be. The Brakes couldn't really fashion any opportunities to peg them back and gain an equaliser, and in the end the Borough go through to the next round of the Emirates FA Cup. So here at your Co-op Community Stadium, thanks very much for joining us. It's finished. Leamington 0, Nuneaton Borough 1.
So Paul, an early exit from the FA Cup against Nuneaton there. Your thoughts on the game today?
Poor game, wasn't it? I think the whole game lacked quality. I think, listen, did we play well enough to win the game? No. There wasn't a lot of quality. You have to learn to make sure that on a day like today, when you haven't played well, that you make sure you've got a game Tuesday night. That was you could see, as much as we spoke, especially, listen, they've come 5 at the back, they've nullified the space centrally. It was up to us to move the ball quicker and move it wide and ask more questions, but we didn't do it, so you've got to give them credit. But from our point of view then, as an experienced team, you think, right, okay, when your day is it's not going how you want it to go, you can't give a goal away like that. We've had possession of the ball high up the pitch, we give it away sloppily, and I think it was just 2, maybe 3 quick passes. We haven't reacted to the danger. It was too easy in the middle of the park. It was too easy. We should have dropped. We should have been narrower. So it's disappointing. It's been a poor afternoon for us. There's no getting away from it. Some conditions were difficult, it was blowing around, it was sunny, but we've I don't know how many times we've played the ball out of play. I don't know how many set plays we've wasted. I've lost track of that, and we just needed to be braver. There was enough room to play there today on that pitch. There was plenty of space. The way Nuneaton set up, it's a deep block, and then they've got players in the hole, and there's enough room to play in the middle of the park. We did it I thought we were just getting into it second half. We're just encouraging Callum to throw the ball out more, try and get in them wide areas and ask questions, but wasn't to be. But it was really, really disappointing goal from our point of view. But from their point of view, they'll be pleased with the pass and finish, obviously.
So just to get an update on the squad, where is all the players at in terms of fitness and injuries?
No, I think it's just Junior. Obviously, has got this ankle injury that ruled him out today. Joe Clark's back doing a little bit of rehab work now, so he's another week or so away. So it's just Connor Taylor come back from his COVID back today, but not ideal. But over the next week or two, it's something that well, hopefully they'll be closer. But I've actively been trying to look at a little bit more back up in the 9 area, which I think we need. So but like you say, I think the biggest lesson for us today is, listen, we've watched the boys this year for 8 games, and you can't doubt their their discipline, their work ethic, and everything. I never would, and it was there in show today. We made too many poor decisions with the ball today. But the learning, the lesson today is, in a game like a day like today, it's 0-0. Just take your replay and hopefully you play better Tuesday night. That's what you have to do there, because there was no quality in the game from either side. And then it's us being sloppy, giving the ball away in a high and not reacting, has allowed the boy to get in. It was a good finish. It's got to be a good finish to beat Callum, to be bluntly honest. Though, yeah. And then so it was a disappointing day for us. So we'll have to work hard again. We've got a busy week next week with Southport and Darling and Southport and Hereford. Sorry. So yeah, we'll regroup and go again.